Imagine a moment in American history when capitalism felt less like opportunity and more like a loaded gun pointed at the country itself. A time when the economy was soaring, fortunes were exploding, and the nation was on the brink of breaking. Today, we're rewinding to that moment to uncover how the United States pulled itself back from the edge, rewrote the rules of capitalism, and what that forgotten history can teach us right now. If you think our era is unprecedented, think again. The late 1800s were America's economic rocket launch. Railroads spanned the continent. Steel fed the cities. Oil lit the world. But behind the boom, private empires rose faster than the national one. Rockefeller didn't just play in the oil market. He owned it. J.P. Morgan could move the entire economy with a single phone call. Carnegie, Gould, the railroad barons, they didn't compete. They eliminated competition. Wealth wasn't just concentrated. It was weaponized. 12 to 14-hour shifts were normal. Steel workers died in explosions. Miners suffocated underground. Children, some as young as 8, were sent into factories out of necessity, not cruelty. No safety rules. No minimum wage. No social protections. If you died on the job, the company simply replaced you. Senators were effectively purchasable. Newspapers were bought to shape public opinion. Courts often sided with corporations. Democracy wasn't dead, but it often looked like a subsidiary of America's richest men. The Panic of 1873. The Panic of 1893. Railroads collapsed. Banks failed. Unemployment exploded. Workers and militias clashed violently in the Great Strike of 1877. These weren't just financial downturns. They were systemic failures that exposed how fragile the system had become. And yet, the nation didn't surrender. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 was the first crack in the armor. For the first time, America declared that the economy was a public arena. And public arenas have rules. Then came the journalists. Ida Tarbell exposing Standard Oil. Upton Sinclair dragging the meatpacking industry into the light. Public opinion shifted from tolerance to disgust. Roosevelt understood something powerful. A president isn't just an enforcer. He's a storyteller. When he took on the Northern Securities Railroad monopoly, he wasn't just filing a lawsuit. He was announcing the end of untouchable private empires. He tightened railroad regulation, expanded oversight, and restored the idea that the government could act in the public interest. When the financial system froze in 1907, it wasn't the government that saved it. It was J.P. Morgan himself. One man acting as a one-man central bank. It worked, but it terrified the nation. So in 1913, America created the Federal Reserve, an institution designed to prevent private individuals from controlling the nation's lifeblood, child labor laws, workplace safety standards, workers' compensation, the 8-hour day, the federal income tax, enabling the government to challenge runaway wealth. America didn't dismantle capitalism. It disciplined it. And for a time, the system worked, but as prosperity returned, memory faded. Starting in the late 1970s, regulation weakened. Antitrust enforcement dried up. Tax rates at the top plunged. Unions collapsed. Finance was deregulated. Corporate mergers exploded. 1,000 small cuts rebuilt the very architecture of inequality the progressives once dismantled. Today, the top 1% holds nearly 40% of the nation's wealth. The bottom half holds just 2 to 3%. In 2023 alone, 19 of America's richest households added nearly $1 trillion. Big tech now holds the power Standard Oil once did, only bigger, faster, and global. Labor conditions echo the past. Stagnant wages, unstable work, no benefits, rising costs. Some states even rolling back child labor protections. History isn't repeating, but it's rhyming loudly. Picture the panic of 1907. Banks collapsing, markets freezing, the government paralyzed. And inside J.P. Morgan's private library, the fate of the U.S. economy being decided by one man. He locked the doors and ordered America's top bankers to cooperate or watch the system burn. It worked. But the country realized something terrifying. If one man can save the economy, one man can crash it. That moment forced Congress to confront a truth the public already knew. Some powers are too big to remain private. That realization, that clarity born of crisis, created the Federal Reserve. If this history gave you a new lens on today's economy, hit subscribe. Because the past isn't just a story, it's a roadmap. And here at The Financial Historian, we follow the money to uncover what comes next.